Hello and welcome to the video with me, Winter Andrew, to another video of Weekly Andrew, in which, yeah. I actually didn't really expect things to go as they went this week when it comes to anime. I thought that I still had like 2 weeks left in the season, basically. But nope, it was just this week, basically. So, literally everything else I had to watch for the season ended this week. I thought some more of those were going to be ending next week. But apparently there's only two for next week, mainly because they got delayed twice. But yeah, starting off with Temple to start off all the anime for this week. Which, yeah, this I think was kind of a bit of a classic anime, ecchi kind of anime that we used to get like in the early 2000s or something, which is pretty nice, to be honest. It really doesn't feel like we actually get ecchi anime like this very often anymore, to be honest. But overall, with the characters and stuff, I kind of just generally think they're all pretty good, entertaining and stuff. And the anime itself is a pretty just entertaining to watch, though with Akagami being the main character, of course, actually trying to reach enlightenment and do away with his worldly desires and stuff. Yeah, of course that's not gonna fucking happen. It's a fucking ecchi anime for a reason. But yeah, pretty entertaining, I think. But moving on to the next thing, which is the Misfit of a Demon King Academy Season 2. First one of it at the very least. Because we're apparently going to get another second part to it. 6 months, I think? I don't remember. But yeah, after half a year of waiting for the darn thing to finally continue, it is actually finished. And yeah, I would say it's at the very least decent, but it kind of feels like it's missing the enjoyment factor that it kind of really needs to, well, enjoy it a lot. But which probably has something to do with a 6 month delay, with it losing the enjoyment factor or something, considering I didn't exactly remember much of the story, which I think also played a part in me not really being able to follow the story very much. Otherwise, the story is just a bit confusing, and it didn't have as much to do with the 6 months delay, not making it to where I didn't really remember stuff. But yeah, overall for this, I would think for this whole season here with all 12 episodes that I can remember at the very least. My favorite part of it was literally before the credits on the last episode there, with Lei and Misa flirting, and Lei calling Misa a bad girl while Sheen is just right there next to them, taking that literally and asking Clay what he doesn't like about his daughter. To be honest, that little interaction right there before the credits for the final episode, I think is my favorite part of the entire darn season. But yeah, I guess we gotta wait another 2,000 years for the second part of season 2 or something. Yeah. Moving on, the Death Duke and his Maid Season 2, which, to be honest, is kind of more the same as what we had in the first season, but it does focus more on actually developing side characters and stuff, and trying to find a way to get rid of the curse and stuff like that. And there's one thing that kind of stood out to me early on was with the second episode, considering you got a bit of a focus on Walter, at least towards the beginning of the episode. Of the second episode of the second season, we get Walter with him doing cross-dressing and stuff. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's a little bit of kind of intentional, having that in the second episode of the second season. And there's also the fact that this season was 2 years after the first season aired, so maybe that was also intentional. That 2 year wait, considering we already got a third season announced for next year. A lot quicker than this season was, that's for sure. Which apparently the third season is probably going to be the final one, because it's apparently going to be finishing the story or something. I think there's only that much content left in the story or something. But yeah, next thing, Classroom for Heroes or whatever they are, which to be honest, I think is one of the worst anime of this season, which is mostly just due to how generic and cliche the entire fucking anime was. Considering I don't really have anything good to say about the anime at all. It was basically just generic tropes and nothing more. The kind of tropes that you normally get in the anime with the power of friendship kind of stuff going on. But all those tropes turned up to 11, basically. That's all the anime really was. So yeah, easily one of the worst anime of the season, if not the worst, I think. But yeah, moving on to the next thing, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 1. Considering we are getting season Part 2 of the second season in spring, I think. But yeah, and this was basically just an entire arc about Rudis being depressed because of Iris, and him trying to cure his ED that resulted from the way that she left him, considering she's bad at communicating. So, yeah. There's also apparently stuff with Sarah that was cut from the anime, I think. Apparently. With from right before Rudis left town and stuff, which would have given Sarah's perspective on things that happens there, but I'm just going to take a guess that was cut or something, and it's going to be moved to when they meet again in the future, because that apparently does happen at some point. That's what I'm going to guess, considering I think they did that with the episode 0 that we had for this season, kind of covering what happened to Sylvia and everything. But, yeah, this season we of course get Sylvie again, who cures Rudis' ED after an entire year of Rudis not recognizing her at all. Anyways, they're now apparently going to be getting married. So that's a thing. And I guess now that Brutus has fixed himself and everything, he's no longer depressed and has Sylvie by his side, I'm guessing they're kind of just going to go out and try and find his mom again or something. I honestly don't really know what's coming up next, to be honest. But yeah, gotta wait 6 months for this to get continued. So yeah. Also, another thing I guess I'll mention is the fact that I don't think the animation was actually very as good as the first season. There's at least some kind of downgrade to that episode to episode compared to the first season. But yeah, next thing, Ayakashi Triangle, which is the one other anime that got delayed for 6 months. Yeah. Another ecchi anime as well, which had completely pointless censorship. But overall, I think the anime was pretty good, and the only thing I really do have to complain about is the pointless censorship, considering, yeah, they even censored panty shots. Hell, they even actually censored things that are even more tame than panty shots, I'm pretty sure. Considering there's the first episode which had that one thing that was censored there that, yeah. It's basically just showing a side shot of Matsuri's boobs when Matsuri is completely clothed still, but is for some reason censored for no reason at all. So, yeah. Insane fucking censorship that does not need to exist at all, especially for a fucking ecchi anime in this day and age. But yeah, overall I kind of pretty like the story that was in this, which what happened towards the end and everything, yeah, it was kind of obvious to me at the very least, with Hirogane losing his powers basically and Matsuri still being stuck as a girl and everything there. Yeah. Apparently, another thing here is the fact that the manga apparently ended just before the final episode ended, so apparently the story is actually finished at this point. But, yeah, I don't know exactly what that means when it comes to possibilities of a second season, but my guess is that it's possible that I could get a second season, just very unlikely. So, moving on to the next thing, which is the girl I like forgot her glasses, which is a nice, wholesome romance anime, which I think got better in the last few episodes, which is mainly due to the fact that me kind of started getting more aggressive after realizing your own feelings for Komura. But otherwise, yeah, I didn't really like Komura's constant overreactions at all. And also there was the whole thing with Mie forgetting her glasses, which at the very least the first half of the anime it just kind of seemed overdone completely, considering yeah, really seemed like she was basically always forgetting her glasses to the point where it seemed intentional. Which, from what I can tell now, yeah, it wasn't intentional at all. It's just her literally forgetting. But we only saw the times that she forgot her glasses, basically, making it seem like she always forgot them. Yeah. But yeah, that's that stuff. I don't really have tons to say that's good for this anime, but yeah, just nice wholesome romance, I guess. Moving on to the next thing, the Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, which is a pretty good romance anime, which from what I can tell, not many people really watched. And also, this did adapt the entire story for it, but yeah. The story, I think, was pretty good with it. It's Odyssey trying to be accepted as a queen and eventually, of course, becoming queen. That's just as much as I can dumb down the story itself, considering, yeah, there's quite a bit going on with it, considering the fact that it also does not shy away from politics in the story at all, considering the whole failed revolution and coup and stuff like that. Yeah, two power struggles basically in that darn thing. But overall, it was just a good romance anime, I would say, which apparently also has a spin-off sequel thing with Leo and Sarafi's son, so, may possibly see that adapted in the future at some point. Maybe. But moving to the next thing is Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence, which is another great wholesome romance slice of life anime from Dogokobo. Which, yeah, as expected from them. It's great, to be honest. Just like all the other wholesome romance slice of life anime they made, and everything. Considering, yeah, there isn't really anything special about it to set it apart from all the other anime they've made and everything. Besides the fact the whole theme of this kind of with Lawrence being pastor and Cecilia being a saint, kind of religious theme to it. But that's as far as the theme goes. To be honest, as them Lawrence being a pastor and Cecilia being a saint, it literally goes no further than that. But yeah, one thing I guess I'll give credit to this is the fact that Lawrence is of course dense, but over the course of the anime he does slowly become less dense. Which, to be honest, don't really see things like that very often. Where the main got a dense main character that actually slowly becomes less dense. It's kind of refreshing to be honest. So I guess that's one thing that could set it apart from everything else they've done. But yeah. Moving on to the next thing, Devil's Part-Timer Season 3. I guess I call it Season 3, considering it's actually Season 2 sequel. Cause, yeah, that's not a confusing name at all. Seriously, what the fuck were they thinking with the naming for this season? But, yeah, this season, not any better than the previous one. At all. And for the most part, it was basically just one large development arc for Emmy, I think. Though the first few episodes kind of focused on Chiho and developing her a little bit more. But overall, yeah, it's just a large development arc for Emmy for the most part, in which they end up going back to into Isla and stuff, and yeah, Emmy's dad is back, I guess, as well. Yeah, I'm not very invested in the story at this point. Probably due to the fact that yeah, it's not as good as first season was. So moving on to the next thing, which is Spy Classroom Season 2, which I think was better than the first season. I think this season had like 2 or 3 missions that they did. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, this season basically focused on developing Annette, Monica, and Thea, in which in Thea's little developments there, we also end up getting Kurth's backstory and stuff there. Honestly, don't really have anything to good or bad to say about it. It's just kind of there. It's enjoyable to watch, kind of, I guess. I really don't have anything to say for this anime, which probably says more than anything. But yeah, that's all the anime that's ended this week that I was watching. Only got 2 anime left, but yeah, that's going to be for next week, considering those here on Saturday. But, yeah, fall 2023 season has already started. And yeah, here's a whole list of everything I'm watching. Though I probably not going to be watching everything I have on that list, considering, like, one example that's literally right at the bottom of that list there is Kizuna no LA. Yeah, I'm probably just going to be skimming through the first episode of that. And if I don't see an absolutely massive improvement from the first episode, I'm going to drop it instantly. Guys, yeah, first season, not very good. If there are so massive improvements, not going to watch it. It's just a waste of time. But yeah, that's everything that I'm going to be watching, or at least may watch for the season. And yeah, that's that stuff. Age of History 2, just going to talk about the videos that for that currently with the whole series I've been doing as the Qing, which I have finished at this point and just need to do the timeline, which I've already recorded and stuff, just need to get it edited and stuff, which will be going up on Monday. But yeah, every episode of this series so far has done very well for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why it's done so well, but every single episode's basically done so well and at this point that every single episode is in the top 10 for my channel with most views, most watch time, and everything, basically. It's just ridiculous how well this darn series is done. I have absolutely no idea why it's doing so well, but it is. Hell, it's done so well that I actually haven't, that YouTube's gotten enough data within this month to actually show when my viewers are actually on YouTube, which is the first time I've ever actually had that little bit of data information on my analytics shown to me. Which apparently most of the people are watching from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I upload my videos at 6 p.m. So yeah, I guess that's one reason why I don't really get many views on my videos at all when I first upload them. Considering most of the time it takes like 8 hours before my I used to really start getting views on even the videos for the Qing series. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense, but yeah, I may possibly test things at some point and changing my upload time to maybe noon or something and bringing it back 6 hours. But otherwise, for now, I think I'm going to stick with 6 o'clock that I normally do. But yeah, that's everything that I had to really mention for this. Next, Sabathon's still going on. I'm still watching that. It's going to be taking like a 2 week break or something for TwitchCon or something. No idea when that break is going to start, but it's going to happen. So I guess I'm going to have 2 weeks free from nags. That's nice, I guess. So yeah, that there is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.